Hey yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy CrispPurpose back at it again with another Gems of War Tower of Doom video for you guys. Now in this one, we have a yellow Tower of Doom this week. Yellow troops is going to be the restriction, and I have an amazing team. In fact, three amazing teams that I think that you're going to be able to use for this yellow Tower of Doom. Now these three teams are categorized as the lazy team, the in between team, and then the hard working team, right? For all those players that want to play a little bit more lazily, you can use the lazy team. Very simple, very straightforward, very easy to use. And then you have the in betweeners who want to do a little bit more, make it a little bit more fancy. And then you, of course, have the players that are going to be going hardcore and want something really tough for this Tower of Doom. All right, so ensure though that you have on your team, no matter what team you use, the doomed bolt shooter, right? That is the weapon that you need to have on your team so as to earn ×2 score for this yellow Tower of Doom. All right, so let's get into the first team right here. As well as at the end of this video, we're going to be taking a look at the April calendar, the event calendar for April. It has been put out by the Gems of War devs. So we're going to be taking a look at that at the end of this video. So ensure that you stick around for that. So this is the first team for this yellow Tower of Doom, and a very popular troop is on this team, T'Chaka. He is going to be here because he has an amazing final trait of Rainbow Scales, creating a ×3 wildcard when my turn begins. And on this team, I have 2 copies of T'Chaka. Up front on the team as well, we have Bork 3000. Bork 3000 is here simply because this is one of the best generators in this restriction. Bork with his metal beak spell, destroying a huge amount of gems and creating 3 bomb gems. He has skull damage reduction as well, and he's a mech, so we're gonna be giving this sucker a 50% mana start from the Mechanist hero class. We of course using T'Chaka for his ability to deal true damage, right, to an enemy and a random enemy. So he's hitting 2 enemies here. Then he's creating those blue gems and green gems, a mix of 20 of those, right? And then the doomed bolt shooter is at the back of the team. As you guys can see, and as I said before, we have the Mechanist hero class here, and this is going to be giving Bork a 50% mana start. And it's, of course, having Vanguard set Tactician Mentor. Banishment is going to be, not so important. If the enemies are barriered or something like that, then we can take it away. But that's about it. And as you guys can see from my potions here on the left, Potion of Enchantment, Potion of Explosion, Potion of Rejuvenation, and then the Potion of Armor. That's the basic setup for my class right there. Then I have the Lantern Banner set. This is a +2 on yellow, +1 on red. Then we're minusing green because even though we're putting it on the board with T'Chaka, we have no troops that use green mana. All right, so this is my first demonstration of this team for this yellow Tower of Doom. So as you guys can see, T'Chaka is going to be creating those wild cards, and that will allow us to get a lot of mana if we match one of those. We didn't match one now, but we're going to do some true damage. And then we're going to follow up with Bork once again, right? And just deal it like that. This team is going to go pretty far into the Tower of Doom. I'm not sure exactly where it will fall off. Oh, that's the unlock right there at room number 2. Cam, you want to make note of that for me? Floor number 8, room number 2, the unlock. That is the unlock room. Floor number 8, room number 2, that is the unlock room. Then I'm going to jump right over here to this doomed room. I don't want to waste any time here and go for that one. So that is the first team right there. Very straightforward, very simple. Let's try that once again, see how it works against this purple Doom. Doom of Darkness. All right, got Bork, and now we just spam him, right? Get T'Chaka going. Even if we don't get both right away, we're going to cast one because he's putting those wild cards on the board, and they tend to, they match with everything. Not tend to match. They simply match with everything. So it just works. So that's how it's going, man. Very, very nice. So hopefully you guys had a good um guild war, right? The first ever guild wars, the reimagined one, I should say, and hopefully it worked out very well for you. Hopefully you didn't lose any battles. For me, I didn't lose any battles. I didn't post my last 2 guild wars fights because they were the same as the previous one, so I completely avoided that. The color was the same, and it seems like everybody went for blue keeps or green keeps. Kind of stupid. You know what I mean? You need to mix it up. You need to mix it up so that enemy guilds cannot figure out what you're doing, man. All right, so that is the first team right there. As I said before, let's go right here and show it to you. Board 3000 times 2 T'Chaka and Bolt Shooter at the back of the team with the Mechanics Hero class. The second team is going to be following up right after this. And this is the in between team for this yellow Tower of Doom. Narcithis is going to be on this team. This is the newer yellow version of the floral dragons, of course, from Pan's Veil. Elemental dragon, 32 mana cost, green, yellow, purple. Spell is Reflected Rage. It will deal, I think it's magic times 3 damage to all enemies. Then it will convert 5 yellow gems to barrier gems. There's a 10% chance for an extra turn, boosted by yellow gems. Now, this troop is simply amazing. One of the better versions of the new floral dragons, right? It also has traits that are spell armor, reduce damage from spells by 25%. It reflects 35% of skull damage, and it steals life with the final trait, Daffodil Aura, right? Stealing 4 life when matching yellow gems. Pretty good troop, man. Really powerful troop and extremely defensive. That's why I'm thinking this is like an in-betweener team. You know what I mean? You can go relatively fast with this. At the same time, it requires some level of proper decision making when it comes down to generating mana. So let's take a look at what I have right here. I have Essentia on this team. Essentia is going to be giving that troop a 50% mana start. And of course, if you don't have Narcithis and you have other maybe Cosmic Dragons or Gem Dragons that fit, you put it on in the first slot, it will work perfectly. But I decided to go with Narcithis because it's newer and persons might not have seen it in teams as of yet. So Essentia here is actually going to be using her spell, right? She's going to be summoning 1 to 3 dragon spirits, and if they are already a dragon spirit in the team, it's going to be exploding 10 gems. Now that explosion right there will prove to be useful just in case my Narcithis does not kill with its first cast. Essentia will be able to cast the spell, generate some mana, and make things work. Of course, it has the Dragon Seer final trait. All dragon allies start with 50% mana, and it also has the Song of Light. It summons a light storm, which is a yellow storm at the start of battle. So it's pretty good right here. The hero, once again, is here with the Doomed Bowl Shooter. But as opposed to Mechanist on the first class, we are using Bard, right? Bard is pretty good. It's a really good class, the best yellow class in the game from a stats and spell buffing standpoint because it has that bardic inspiration final trait, right? All yellow allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. I also have serendipity set in the talents here as well as well read. Anti-magic sphere, mana source is pretty important, starting with 50% mana. Mentor, so as to give my allies more magic. I also have inspiration. I can change off inspiration here. I don't think inspiration is needed on this team since everybody already has a 50% mana start from the from Essentia, right? Because we have other dragons on the team. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with let's go with the surge, man. Let's go with the arcane surge right here. That's going to be the most that's important. And then the mystic channel at the back, not so important for that one. All right, and then at the back of the team, we have the Dragon Spirit. The Dragon Spirit is here so as to allow Essentia to activate that second half of her spell, right? If we need to cast it, we can, but I don't, I don't see any areas or reason here to cast this troop. That's why it's at the back of the team. If you want to make it a little bit quicker, you can take off the Dragon Spirit, punch it empowered right here. Let's go empowered. Right, you can go empowered, and you can pick up other empowered troops. In fact, if you want to, you can use Venerabilix. Venerabilix is going to allow you to empower into yellow by converting away brown, and you give more magic to your allies. Just in case you don't want to use a Dragon Spirit and you don't want to cast your Essentia, use Venerabilix. He is an empowered troop, uses yellow mana. As you guys can see, it's available for this restriction. But for the start, I'm going to showcase it with my dragon spirit. Let's see the banner here. The banner on this one is I think I'm going to rotate this banner. Let's go. This one, there we go, there we go. The mirror banner, right? From the Mirrored Halls faction. This is a +2 on yellow, +1 on blue. Then we're minusing red, obviously, because there's no troops using red mana on the team. All right, let's go into this fight. The webbed halls in this yellow Tower of Doom. All right, so as you guys can see, the first assignment here, of course, is to get Essentia spell ready as soon as possible. And once she is, explosions. There you go. She's spell ready again. You cast a damage dealer. Just like that, baby. Just like that. So as I said before, it's an in-betweener team. The good thing, though, about Essenzia's spell is that she is not requiring any magic. So just in case you're a player that might have one of these new floral dragons, but you're not all the way up there when it comes down to magic, you can use this. You don't require magic so as to get that explosion. You get 10 gems exploded regardless. Really cool option right here. Let's run it through again and see how it actually works out. Going up against the webbed halls once again. Right, so got the explosion going, got Essentia, explosion from her, got the troops going. There we go. And as you guys can see here, one of the troops did resummon. Let's match a skull first. Then we're going to go for the explosion. If I wanted to, I could cast the Dragon Spirit. Not going to do that at this point in time. And we got the unlock room. So that unlock room was from floor 9, room number 2. Cam, can you make a note of that for me? Floor 9, room number 2 is the unlock. And let's hop on over to another doomed room. This is the Doom of Stone. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can make this a quick one. And then we're going to showcase the final team, which is the hardworking team, the persons who want to do something different. They can use that team right there. All right, so we have our Narcithis. Spell ready, we killed him. And then we're going to go for the explosions here. That sucker got barriered, right? Let's go ahead, take off that barrier, get the explosion going. And now let's see if we can enchant the allies. Let's cast a Dragon Spirit. Might as well, man. Let's do it. I should say, using Bard though, you can see that popping off that 1 to all stats every single turn. The more turns you get, the more stats your troops are going to be getting. And of course, this is a yellow event, so Bard tends to just work really, really well with this, right? So yeah, let's take a look at this team once again. Narcissus at the top, followed by, all right, I'm jumping everywhere here. Narcissus at the top, followed by Essentia, then the Doomed Bolt Shooter with the Bard Hero class, and then the Dragon Spirit at the back. Of course, you can switch off the Dragon Spirit and go with Venerable. And this is the final team, the hardworking team for this yellow Tower of Doom. Up front on the team, we're going to be having Gorgotha. Gorgotha is going to be here because this is a very powerful and very strong defender troop. 75% skull damage reduction on this bad boy. Also, his spell, the Doom Stones, is amazing because he explodes gems and cleanses himself. So just in case he has negative status effect on him, casting him will get rid of that and get you back in the game. Then the Wild King is going to be on this team in the second slot. The Wild King is your main damage dealer on this team because he has that spell Incite Fury. He will enrage all allies and give magic +1 attack, then create a mix of 22 skulls and yellow gems. Very powerful spell, man. Giving attack to the entire team and enraging them. Amazing stuff. Of course, it also has for the final trait Wild Cunning. All Wildfolk allies gain 1 magic when my turn begins. It has a Bone Storm, but I think the team is going to take that away based on its structure. The Doomed Bolt Shooter is in the third slot with the Elementalist hero class on this one. The reason why I'm using Elementalist because, of course, we're putting skulls on the board. We want to entangle the enemy so they can't use those skulls against us, and then just deal damage to them and destroy the entire enemy team. My setup for my Elementalist is the same as I usually have it: Snap, Freeze, Insulated, Stone Circle, Storms Aura, Rock Solid, Lightning Strike, and of course, Fortitude. Then at the back of the team, we have Hiekel is going to be here for our empowered start, right? He has a great setup of just traits and spell that just work seamlessly together. He's empowered. Then he has Song of Light, Light Storm at start of battle. Then he's converting blue gems to yellow and conjuring a Light Storm. Like solid stuff, man. Really, really solid stuff. The banner on this one is a Talon banner from the Suncrest Kingdom. This is a +2 on yellow, +1 on green. Then we're minusing blue because we're converting that away with our Hiekel. Let's hop into a fight here against the Hidden Nest. this yellow tower of doom. Let's see if we can complete this one and post up this video, man. All right, so first assignment is to get your Gorgatha spell ready. So if you look for alignment, I think I actually moved the alignment there. There we go. Then we can incite rage with our wild king. And we killed one, and they're sculling us, but it doesn't matter. Then we're gonna just cast our Gorgatha for that generating and just kill them out. As I said before, this is the hardworking team right here. This is the one that just rips the enemy troops apart with those skull attacks. All right, let's go to this room right here, see if we can pick out a good one for the guild. Let's try the team again. Right, so don't go anywhere. Right at the end, once we complete the team here, we're going to be looking at the event calendar and see exactly what is upcoming for this month in the world of Gems of War. All right, let's go for that big explosion for Golgotha. All right, we can put more yellow gems on the board here. Now let's go Wild King. Ooh, big boy damage. Wild King again. They're almost gone. Man, the skulls are hitting. All right, there we go. There we go, man. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, the unlock. Cam, can you make note of this one? Floor number 10, room number 4 is the unlock room. All right, we're going to do one final one here. Then we're going to skedaddle, right, and go to the event calendar. All right, can we get some motion on the board? Motion, motion, motion. All right, got a little bit. All right, let's explode this here because we don't have much alignment. There we go. Go for the Wild King. Big boy hit. One more. Gonna go Gorta again. Wild King once again. Wild King is really good for events like this because he just stacks up attack, one after the other, one after the other on top of your troops. So if a troop like Gorgata in the first slot just becomes a complete wrecking ball, right? And just destroys them, man. All right, so that is the team right there. Gorgata, Wild King, and then Doomed Bullshit. You're almost never going to be casting this. This is a very underwhelming Doomed weapon. If all the weapons are like this, man, we're in for a long one, right? And then Heacold at the back of this team. All right, stick around. The April event calendar is going to be following up right after this. And this is the April event calendar. And it seems like it's going to be a pretty jam-packed month, right? So the most notable things that we've seen so far for this event calendar is, of course, we have this week the Tower of Doom for yellow, and we have a Forest of Thorns week. Primal Rift is going to be the faction assault tomorrow on Tuesday, and Wednesday we have a pet popping up right there. Then we have the Archer Hero class, and on Friday we have the new mythic Mist Mother. Do not, I repeat, do not miss this mythic. This mythic will be a game changer. I guarantee you. You will notice what I'm talking about on Friday. I ain't saying nothing now. Just wait and see, but get that mythic right there. And on the weekend, from Friday, April 4th until Sunday, April 6th, we're going to be having a vault event. Man, that's going to be pretty cool, right? Following up next week, starting Monday, we have a raid boss event. Drac Zoom is the event. Kingdom and Ilithia's faction follows on Tuesday. Then we have a pet and the hero class of which hero class is this again? Completely lost. Drac Zoom's hero class. Is that Slayer? I think it might be Slayer. I think it might be Slayer. I don't know why. I think the devs actually on the event calendar mixed up the Slayer sigil for the what's this called? The Broken Spire Warlord sigil. Yeah, I think that's the class for Warlord. This they messed up the sigil right there. Then we have on the weekend from April 11th to April 13th, we have a faction expansion. I think that faction expansion is for Worm Run. I hope so that it is. It could be for something else, but I think it's for Worm Run faction expansion. The cool thing though, on Monday, April 14th, we have a Broken Spire event. It's a journey event for Broken Spire, and Faction Assault is going to be for Fire Rift. New pet, it seems, coming in on Wednesday, April 16th, and then the Warlord class trial And once again on that weekend, we have another vault event. That's going to be pretty cool, right? April 18th to April 20th, we have another vault event. That is very, very, very good news. Two vault events in April, man. It's a good month. It's a really, really good month. Then on Monday, April 21st, we have a world event for Swords Edge. It's gonna be pretty cool. Swords Edge is a cool kingdom to have a world event in. Spell damage medal, hopefully. No skull damage medal devs, please. And then we have the Crypt Keepers Faction Assault on April 22nd. Pet right there. I don't remember the name of that pet. And the Knight Hero class trial. The weekend event there is going to be a bounty event from April 25th until April 27th. And then moving over into April 28th, we have an invasion event for Nexus. Man, that looks pretty cool. Nexus event. Nexus event. That means I can use my new Chrysantherax in that event, right? I don't think we'll need that invasion captain. A Chrysantherax will do the job. Umbral Nexus is going to be on April 29th. Then we're gonna have a pet. I think that's a moist owlet. That's the only pet name I remember. Why do I remember the moist one, man? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, pretty interesting pet right there on Wednesday, April 30th. And yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna touch those areas there for May. I'm gonna leave those. We see what they are. This elementalist class trial. Then we have new mythic on May 2nd. And then that should be the Guild Wars week. Hopefully, it stays around as the Guild Wars week. We never know. We never know. We have a new campaign starting on April 14th to June 23rd, right? That's the Trident of Dagonoth. Hopefully, that's how the name is pronounced. The Trident of Dagonoth campaign looks interesting. The design looks pretty cool. And that's what's notable for the event calendar. I want to point out something that the devs said in the actual post that they posted to the Gems of War website. There should be a special event week on the 14th of April to the 20th. So need to make sure you do your dailies. And we're also going to be having the Legends Reborn event for Whitehelm, right? That's April 28th to May 4th. Pretty interesting. One thing we do know, though, about the next Guild Wars event, the attack restriction is Divinian Fields. So ensure that you put your Divinian Fields attack team together. I'll, of course, drop a video showcasing exactly what you're able to do with those attack teams, but keep that in mind for the next coming month. All right, so that is it, guys. Hopefully, you guys and gals found this video helpful and informative. If you did, remember to hit that like button, comment to let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next one. Peace.